Hi everybody. I am coming outside to show you or update what's going on. This is 7 days of lake effect snow. I'm going to turn this around in a second and show you. It is currently snowing. We also hired one of my friend's sons to come over and shovel this morning because, of course, we are shopping online for Christmas and we have deliveries coming. And I knew better than to schedule them during the week when this storm first started. So I pushed it out as far as I could. So they're supposed to come this weekend starting today. And so we had to have a path to our front porch. So I'm going to show you that. So here's the front porch. And of course, this started the day or two after Thanksgiving. So I still have, fall Thanksgiving stuff out. No winter stuff yet. And here's the path. I told the kid, I said, look, it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be down to the pavement, although he did an excellent, excellent job. But look how deep the path is. So if you haven't been following, this storm started last Thursday, so not yesterday, but 6 days ago on Thursday night. And this big storm came in off the lake and just dumped about 3 feet of snow within 24 hours and just buried our whole town. And then it snowed a little bit more every day. Where I live, our township was last recorded at 60 inches of snow. So that didn't all fall at once, but over 5 or 6 day period, that's what we got. We had to have a plow come inches. We had a plow. He did our driveway. Then that night we got more. That's when we ended up being about between 2 and 3 feet of snow. He came again and plowed. My daughter's car was completely buried. You couldn't even tell there was a car right there. I have a video about that. We were trying to, when we dug it out and got it out. You can check out that video. We also, here's our little fire bucket. We moved it over here. We had this outside our garage. That's a log that's sticking out of it, but I have a video about that. We go around the garage area. When we were first, forgot my scarf and I need it. Here's my hat. We have a snowblower too, and I have to make sure I bring that in later. I knew I had left it outside. Casualty. So there's the path. Hopefully they'll follow it to get up to our porch. Snow's coming down. And oh, who's in here? Carla. Hi, Carla. I know you've been following, I think. And Dakota. Yeah, we got a lot. But we're always prepared for this. So it took several days, but our road is finally mostly down to pavement. Our issue in our town is that, like, look at these snow piles when you plow. On our main streets are like streets where we have businesses. There's nowhere to put the snow. There was so much. So there's videos online. I'll have to share some of them where they just, the state sent in big dump trucks they filled the snow up in the dump trucks, and then they used empty parking lots, empty snow. Yeah, so it's lightly snowing now. This is Well, we were supposed to get an Alberta Clipper. That didn't really do anything. It hit west of us, so if Heather comes in here, she's west of us. We always go back and forth, keep the snow over there where you're at. And this snow, I don't know, a system went past us. I'm in Northeast Ohio in Ashtabula. This went towards Pennsylvania, but I guess the wind is supposed to shift and it's supposed to come back around this way. So. Oh, it's hot. Speaking about our school, oh my gosh, it is devastating. And I can speak about it now because it's been on the news. If you watch any of the Cleveland news stations. So we have new school buildings that were built about 20 years ago, short of 20 years. And we took advantage of one of those levies that the state of Ohio, they like funded half of it. So we had to vote on it as a town, and that took a lot of work. So we have these brand new buildings, but you know, all new builds, whether it's houses or whatever, they just don't build them like they used to. So this storm, we have a high school and a junior high, and they're beautiful, beautiful buildings. Our high school, because I mean, you can see all the snow on that these houses have on their roofs. And that's not even as much as it was. Some of it has melted. Our high school roof got damaged and actually collapsed. And they have pictures of the inside of the building online, and the news reported. The news stations have been up here constantly. Our superintendent had to give a press conference because we cannot use the building. Nobody is returning to the high school building. Now I teach 6th grade, so I'm at another campus that are also new buildings. We built 5 of them all on one piece of property. So we named them after the Great Lakes, which is pretty cool because we're on Lake Erie. Everybody returns Monday. I'm worried about Monday though, because it's supposed to be close to 50 degrees and this is all gonna melt, you guys. This is all gonna melt. So I'm afraid we're gonna have flooding. I know for a fact this corner right here that I'm approaching is gonna be a swamp. It'll be a pond. I've been stuck in it before, even with just a little bit of melting. I got stuck down here. My kids were little. They were like 2 and 3 years old, and it was so deep. My neighbor had to help me. I couldn't do anything. So our high school kids are gonna go online until Christmas break, because we were supposed to go on Christmas break December 20th, and they moved it up. We're gonna go on Christmas break the 18th, and that'll give the district a couple days to, I mean, they are moving. One of our buildings houses preschool. They're moving all the preschoolers out over to another building. And it's nice that we have all these buildings on one property because it gives us the flexibility to do stuff like that. But man, it's going to be a lot of work. Uh-oh. That little dog was just growling at me. I didn't even hear him. My building's going to stay the same, but we're going to have the high school kids in that empty building that they're going to clear out. And then, so it'll be fun for the little kids to see the high schoolers on our campus, but it's devastating for them. My daughter's coaching high school basketball, and they can't have any home games anymore. So all of their games have to be away because we don't have a school to use anymore. So, yeah. We'll see on Monday. I'll be reporting live from the Great Flood of 2024. Yeah, they're trying to avoid online learning. When COVID hit, every teacher had to go online from spring till the end of the year. But the following year, I taught online from my house. I was allowed to work at home the whole school year, and what an experience. I mean, that was so unique, but it's hard to do it on the flip of, you know, turn of a dime or however they say it. It takes a lot of prepping, but they can do it for, it's only going to be like 7 days that they have to do it. So not too bad. The Great Flood of 2025. No, I'll find a boat and I'll just row around my neighborhood. Oh my God. I do have pool floats. I'll get my pool floats out from the back. Oh my goodness. So yeah, you can see how high the snow is. But I mean, it's pavement. The roads are good. The roads are good. The concern the past 2 days, there's a car, wasn't snow accumulation. It was wind. We had like 40-mile-an-hour winds. So it didn't bring snow too much, but when you were driving, especially on the freeways, it was whiteout conditions. Well, even in town, I woke up Thursday morning because I was worried about my daughter because she was supposed to go into work. Maybe it was Wednesday morning. And they declared a level 3 emergency again, which means stay off the roads. No one's allowed to be on the roads unless it's a dire emergency. And that was just because the wind blows the snow all over the place and you can't see. I love getting out here for a nice little walk though. Wish there were some kids out here that had built some snowmen or something. Yeah, roads are definitely better, definitely better. Now this snow, these are big flakes, so they don't look like they would do too much, but if it just keeps doing this for hours, it'll add up. Oh, you're welcome, Carla. My husband actually went out. He poor guy. He took vacation days, and we've been snowed in the whole time. And he wanted to go out and do some fun stuff, and we couldn't go do anything. Oh yeah, it's coming down now. I love when it's these big flakes. So you can see down at the end of the road, it gets, the visibility gets worse. And our skies, I mean, I think the sun is there, but it's so gray, and it's almost 12:20 here Eastern time, and it's dark, gloomy. I was watching Lana earlier. I don't know if any of you watch Truth and Transparency. A lot of channels have been talking about that shooting in New York. Kane did a really good live on it last night. Kane's The Purge. If you don't know that channel, check him out. Has anybody been following that? We can hear the wind. Yeah, and me huffing and puffing. I have snow pants on. But anyways, I think that case is crazy. The big debate is it a vigilante or was it for hire? Yep, same, Carla. I know, I see you. Can you see the snow? Let me see. Oh yeah, there you go. Yep. Also, my old videos from this summer, I had baby bunnies that were born in my garden. And I know that after they left my yard, they went over to this patch of woods. So I wonder if they're like in there hibernating. I don't know if they hibernate. I know they have a den that would be underground, but I know they were there because I would always see them over here in my neighbor's yard eating the clover. Every time I see a bunny, I'm gonna wonder if it's one of my babies. I'll show you guys these giant icicles. I need to go get a broom and knock them down because they will pull our gutters off. Oh, my husband always says, check the mail. My mailbox is open. I'll grab that when I'm done, but look, let me zoom this in. Those icicles, I got my glove on my mouth. Those icicles I can knock down. Those, I wouldn't be able to reach. Look at that monster. That's not good. Not good. But I'm not the only one. Some other houses have them too, so. My neighbor's just got a t-shirt on. Northeast Ohio living is different. My brother-in-law wears shorts all winter long. People don't care. They would take an eye out. We used to take them down when we were kids and use them as like swords or put them on top of our forts for decoration. Look at that pile of wood. Get my steps in. I'm on a mission to lose weight. Let's see if there's any Christmas decorations. Oh, these guys have their decorations up. They've got snowmen on the porch. All right, Shay, where are we at? There. Snowmen. They got snow. So cute. They probably light up at night. How many steps? I don't know. I didn't wear my watch. I would say if I go up into my road, maybe it's 1/4 of a mile. So I used to walk like 5 miles every day in the summertime when I was in really good condition, but haven't done that in a long time. Yeah. There's a really awesome walk I would do in the summertime down to the lake. We have this place called The Point. And yes, it's known as the Makeout Point. But it's a big parking lot that overlooks our river that comes in from the lake. And then below that is a tourist area with lots of cute shops and restaurants. And we just built a hotel. And I walk down there. If I walk down there and back, it's like 5 miles. Ooh, their house is for sale. This house has started. They usually do awesome decorations at White House. They're probably waiting for the snow to all melt on Monday. Yeah, starting, I think Sunday it's supposed to go above freezing. Monday is supposed to go really up. temperature wise, and then the rest of the week is going to be above freezing, so we'll see what happens. I'm gonna go check out the other side of my street. See, it's really slushy here. Hate that. I'm gonna go down this way if I don't fall. Look at that snow on top of the mailbox. My whole backyard is like that because we never took in our outdoor furniture. So I have, you know, a patio table, long patio table that seats like 8 people. That's got like 3 feet of snow on it. Little end tables. We have a fire pit that's buried. The lake is always colder. Have you guys ever heard of Geneva on the Lake? If you're from Ohio, you might have heard of it. Geneva is about 20 minutes west of here. And forever, like since the 20s and 30s, they've had this little strip out there, and there's like an arcade, and they used to have dance halls and cottages you can rent. And that's where they built, there's now a state lodge that's beautiful you could stay at. And they have a winery, and lots of bars, little shops, things like that. But what did you make me? Yeah, so I used to work there. That was like my college summer job. I worked at the winery. Best job ever. Because we would work and make lots of money and then get off on beautiful summer nights. And we were right on the beach. So we'd grab bottles of wine and go down and build a fire on the beach, hang out. It was so awesome. Good memories. But when you go to the lake like that, it's always going to be like 10 degrees cooler, even in the summertime. Always bring a sweater. The bar crawl, Christy. Yeah, I think my daughter did that a couple of years ago. Well, this road looks the same. This right here, this part of the road is another part that is going to flood. I'm calling it now. The drainage in this neighborhood is messed up. You can see the drain, but they don't like work. They don't go anywhere. Wherever that is supposed to go, I don't know, it'll go a little ways, but then it's clogged or blocked up wherever it's supposed to come out at. So it's gonna be a mess. Hey Heather, are you getting any of this, or is it just here? And how much snow did you get? See, they have icicles too, and they have their house nicely decorated. Pretty. I do want to get some greenery for the front of my house. I was going to use natural from the, ooh, it's starting to come down. Can you hear it? It's hitting my coat. It knows when I come outside. I came out, it wasn't snowing. That's so funny. Look at that mailbox. Like if I stood up to that, it is probably up to my shoulders. That's crazy. Crazy. Three inches the last 2 days. Oh, this is starting to stick. Look at the coating on top. Oh, here we go. And I was nervous because Carlos went out of town. He drove to Erie. And, you know, the weather people, they cannot be 100% correct. They don't know. So they were saying we could get 4 inches or we could get 12 inches. today. I think it's going to be from now until 6 o'clock tonight, they said. And once we've got everything under control like this, though, I mean, if it's another foot of snow, it'll take a while for them to clear it out. But if it's only, 5 inches, we can just go out and snow blow our own driveway. I might have to go out and snow blow in a little bit. So it's sticking to where it's cold right here, but the pavement and where it's wet is still melting it. They will coat our roads. You used to be able to see the ice pellets that they would drop, but I don't know if they use a liquid now. I don't know what they do now. But you used to be able to see it. I'm avoiding the wet areas. There's lots of snowmobiles out now too. Not on my street, but on Facebook, people have been saying there's lots of snowmobiles. Oh, hear the ice? Yeah, Carlos drives good in the weather. It doesn't worry him at all. Me, I freak out, especially if you can't see. I will have a panic attack. I have pulled over in thunderstorms before and just waited it out. One year, I have 2 storm stories of driving in it. One year, for Christmas, we tried to plan some fun activities like all Christmas break to do with our kids. And they kept getting canceled because we had a lot of snow and we didn't want to drive out of town, but we had reservations at Splash Lagoon in Erie, like an indoor water park. And Carlos was like, determined we were going no matter what. And it was a complete whiteout the whole way. I think I cried the whole way. But we made it. We went. So we were snowed in at a water park. This is really coming down. Yikes. Waiting for this car to go by. The other story, if you guys don't know, my son had leukemia when he was 12 years old. So we were up at Rainbow Babies Hospital for like 2 years. He's healthy now. He's like 26 now. So our first 60 episodes of our podcast on YouTube are about that, like our experience. If you're ever interested in hearing what we went through, it's sad at times. We got funny stories that happened during that time, the experiences we went through. But my son had to have a bone marrow transplant, and we were freaking out about that to find a match. And we did a Be the Match drive where people come in and swab their cheeks to see if they're a match. And I was up in Cleveland and a huge storm came in, and it takes us usually an hour to get to Cleveland. For me, that would be normal, an hour. It took me 3.5 hours to drive to that thing from Cleveland back home. It was horrible out. I was driving down the freeway. There was so much snow on the freeway that I thought I was just gonna come to a dead stop because we were going like 20 miles an hour on the freeway, and the snow just kept getting deeper and deeper. I was like, I'm gonna get stuck. So I got off the freeway on an exit, and then it was horrible everywhere, on the freeway, off the freeway. I can't even believe I made it, but I was determined. Yeah, that experience changed me, Carla. It was terrifying, and You feel so much responsibility as the parent. It was hard. That's... Oh, Heather, I didn't know that. Do you get infusions or something, Heather? If you don't mind. Oh, yeah, we have episodes about all the DNA. So my son was born with X-linked agammaglobulinemia. They call it Bruton's disease. So that's with your white blood cells, like his B cells that fight infections. He had them, but they would never mature. So he could get an infusion to treat it. So he did that forever. When he was diagnosed with the leukemia and had the bone marrow transplant, my husband and I, Carlos, were like, well, if you're gonna, completely overhaul his whole, bone marrow, wouldn't that fix his other immune disorder, right? Doesn't that make sense to you? And they were like, no. Like we push so hard on that. Carlos's episodes on that are, we look like scientists. When the doctors would come into our hospital room, we had charts and data and all this stuff on the whiteboard, and we would show it to them and question them, and guess who was right ultimately? It did cure it. It did cure it. And his doctor that treated him for that never even said anything. He could have cared less. Oh, interesting, Heather. I gotta look into that. I do know. Now, this was back in, 2010, when this all happened with my son, and they did do all the DNA testing and everything. Like, I probably have the paperwork somewhere. Like, I know what those reports look like when they're looking at the DNA. But they told me at the time that there was only one lab in the country that did it. And guess where it was, Heather? It was out in the state of Washington. One time I had questions and I called the doctor at that lab and he freaked out, like, who gave you this number? I was such a detective when we went through that. Like, I would get numbers. If they told me no, I was like, I did not take no for an answer. I would find it out myself. But he made it clear that he was not the kind of doctor that spoke to patients. They were more like a research facility. But he still talked to me. Oh, I gotta look into that. I know it was a mutation. I do know that. Oh, maybe I'm getting a mile in. I've just been talking and walking and not paying attention. Everybody's coming home now. All right, I'm turning around for the last time and heading home. So Heather, do you think the CEO event in New York was vigilante or hit? not just Heather, anybody in chat. Chat, what do you think? Oh, a distraction. Yeah, I thought that too. From what, though? What do you think? From what? There's a lot of talk that there's still stuff going on with the election counting. Do you think it's that? Yeah, at first I thought vigilante because, I mean, we all know, not that it's the right thing to do, but we all know that there's enough going on that would make somebody feel like that. But then when I'm looking at all the details that they have said, you know, about the gun and just how it was planned, it seems like more sophisticated, I think. Yeah, plus all the, you know, sudden unalivings that have been happening all over the place too. And the whistleblowers that have been taken out. I guess that's the question too. Which side was he on? Whistleblower side or crook side? I always call them the crooks. Ooh, I'm walking right into it now. And I forgot my scarf. Yeah, I agree with you. You want to talk about the place where there's probably the most cameras everywhere. And has anybody said anything about a digital, well, I guess they wouldn't know until they find him. Like if he had a phone on him or anything. I can't see. The chat is going straight into my eyeballs. He went into, oh yeah, could have, underground in a manhole. He had something planned. Because I think it's hilarious though that he was riding on was he riding on one of those city bikes that you just park and grab and go? That's kind of funny. What does that stand for? Oh, tunnels. Oh, not more tunnels! Not more tunnels! There's going to be IGG, tunnels. Did he have bushy eyebrows? Those are all Idaho 4 jokes for people that don't follow that. Okay, this is for Carlos. This is evidence that Kim, look at this ice chunk. It's like my little shelf I cannot even get in there. I'm too short for this task. All right, there's a mailbox. I missed one. Kim got the mail. Everybody type, Kim got the mail. Oh my gosh. Hey, sorry that I got cut off of my outside live. My phone died, which was disappointing. I was right at the point where I was getting the mail and telling everybody to type in chat that I got the mail. Sorry it cut off like that. Thanks, Carla. Thanks, Heather, and whoever else was in here watching with me. Oh, my little kitty is. Can you see him? So I just came inside real quick. I'm like, oh, I gotta throw my phone on the charger. But thanks for walking with me. And I'll go live again, hopefully before the flood. All right. I'll see everybody later. Bye.